So I was going to make a blog about the 5 year anniversary of my mom being gone, but I figured it'd probably just be better if I made a video, so I can just get my thoughts out clearly. Because I started to make like type of blog or whatever for it, and it kind of went off on a path that I didn't want it to go off on. It went off more towards like a sad path, and um, I didn't want it to like be like that. Uh, so anyway, Friday the 15th of June of this year, so June 15th, 2012, marked 5 years since my mom had been gone. She passed away 5 years ago, um, just due to like a battle with addiction that she had, and um, I don't really, I don't really know what like the point of this whole thing was. Just kind of like to reflect on it, because I feel like I've come like a long way in the past 5 years. I know that when my mom first passed away, my family, like my sisters and I, we only kind of grieved for like 2 weeks, and then we just like got back into our routine. Like we all went back to work. We didn't like drop out of any of the classes that we were taking. Like we didn't take any semester off or anything. Uh, and we still like put like a ton of effort into our school. Like it was like a hard semester, obviously, and it was like a hard time, but we just kind of like shut down the grieving process. And people would come up to us and be like, "Oh my gosh, like we heard about your mom, like we're so sorry," and um, we would look at them and be like, "It's okay, it's all right, it happens, it's okay," like because we just like we felt like awkward. We felt like awkward being like cry. We don't want to cry in front of them, and we just felt like really awkward. Um, and then I lost my train of thought. Sorry. It was just awkward, and for the longest time we would just reply back to people like, "It's okay," as if like it's normal that you lose your mom at like 18 or like 22 or anything. Um, so then like as the months would go on, we would like have like hard times around holidays, which is normal. It's completely normal. But then I didn't really start to grieve like the loss of my mom until it had been a year since she had been gone. And I remember like counting the months. Like she'd been gone for 6 months. She'd been gone for like 7 months, 12 months, 13 months. Like I counted down, and then I remember like coming to the conclusion one time. I was writing my journal, and I came to the conclusion that I was like, what good is it? What good is it doing counting down the months that she's been gone, counting down like all of that, It wasn't helping me move forward. It wasn't helping me grieve any better. Um, and so I just I kind of just stopped focusing on like how long it had been since she'd been gone. Like obviously, I'm never going to forget, the date and everything. And so like next year when it's like 6 years and stuff, like I'm going to know. But I also don't want the date to come around and it to be like a day where I'm just like sad and depressed all day. Like instead I want to remember like the good things about my mom and the good times that like for as long as we had her, because in reality, yeah, there's people that have like their parents until like their parents are old. Like my dad has had his mom, my grandma, she's 78 and she's still around, Like that's awesome. But I was lucky too to even have my mom for 18 years. Like I had her for 18 years of my life, and like the like I didn't she wasn't really like in my life a ton, in a good way, from when I was 16 to 18, but I still had her for like 18 years of my life. Like there are people that don't have their moms at all, or maybe only have their mom for like 4 years, and I still have my dad in my life. I know a family, and I know a couple kids that they they lost their dad, um, 2 years ago, and they're only, I think they all just turned 15. Like they only had their dad in their life until they were 13, like 13 years old, and they lost their dad. And like I feel like losing any parent is really hard, Like losing my mom is the hardest thing that I've ever gone through. I can't imagine though if it had been my dad though. Like my dad is like my rock, and he has been there for me through everything. And for some people, like their mom is their rock, and like I was really really close to my mom before like things kind of like went bad or whatever, and but I just I just remember like thinking I can't continue to count down. I can't continue to like live in this like misery. It just wasn't good for me. And I remember I just decided to like finally like give it to God. And it's a lot easier saying you're going to give things over to God than really giving them over to God. Um but I remember like when I finally gave like the grieving and everything just over to God. I remember just feeling this huge weight lifted off my shoulders. Just huge weight just lifted right off my shoulders. And it's just as time has gone on. I know that people say this all the time when people pass away, like time heals all. Like it really really does. Like it just depends. It really depends on like your outlook and how you look at things, and like instead of like just focusing on all the bad in the situation, like focusing on the good and what you can pull good from it. Like through my mom's passing I learned a ton, and I pulled a ton from it, and I learned a lot of life lessons that I'm going to carry like with me for the rest of my life. And it's hard. Like it was hard on Friday. It was hard 2 days ago or whatever. um I kind of like I'm usually super upbeat and everything, and I don't really let things like bother me. And I woke up really tired. I woke up like my body felt achy, because I got in a car accident like a while ago, and I still go through like aches and pains of that and everything. I woke up achy and I woke up tired, and um, I had like a positive outlook on the day though, and I didn't feel sad about it. And then I was at work and I was talking to my dad about my mom, and then I started talking about the last Christmas that I had spent with her, and for some reason it overwhelmed me, and it started to make me feel really really sad. And then like as the day went on, I felt just like I was being like attacked, like I felt like my emotions were like taking over, and um, I just felt like really down, and I had to kind of like take a step back and really like think about just like the good times, and think about the fact that like she's not in pain anymore, and I had her around for a good amount of time, and I have this wonderful woman in my life who is my stepmom. My dad married her, and she loves me as if I'm her daughter, like as if I was like her own like flesh and blood. And I can't even begin to describe like how awesome it is. Like I feel like it's really hard to blend families, and yet I have a family. Like I have two brothers that by blood we're not like brother and sister, but like I look at them as if like they're my own like flesh and blood. Like we have the same exact parents, whatever. um but I adore them, and I'm super super close to my younger brother. And in the beginning when we were trying to blend the family, it was really really hard. But I wouldn't trade. Like I'm so lucky for the family that I have. I'm so lucky to have like the support system that I have. And so I just I totally went off topic with this whole thing. But the whole point was I was writing a blog earlier about my mom, just kind of like where I'm at like from 5 years, since it's been 5 years, whatever. And I feel like I'm in like a really good place, and I feel like with the situation I'm able to somewhat like help others when they go through losses, or when they are grieving like the loss of a parent or something. And in reality, like all that really helps is time. Like time really helps, and then surrounding yourself with people who really care about you, and sometimes just surrounding yourself with people that are just going to listen to you. Like there's really nothing that anyone can say that's going to make you feel better. But it's nice to have people that if they just sit there and they just let you talk. Just let you talk, and they let you vent, and they're not like you can't fix a situation. You can't fix it. Like you can't bring anyone back to life. You can't fix it. And what you take from like bad experiences in your life, you can turn them into good. Like you can turn them into good lessons that you've learned, and that help like impact your life in a better way. You know, there's so much that I've learned from like my mom passing away, and like how like I want to live my life and decisions that I make. And you know, I pull things from like my childhood of how she raised me and certain like situations that happened like with her and I. And there's obviously things that like I would love to change, but you can't change things. All you can do is like grow from them. So I'm really, really thankful for that. So I don't know. I just wanted to make like a little vlog that ends up always being 10 minutes when I talk. Um, but it's just a reflection on where I've come from the past 5 years of like coming from like counting down like how long it's been since she's been gone, you know, and just being so like sad about it. And like I remember thinking like this isn't real life. Like this is a dream. When am I gonna wake up? So like accepting it and like being thankful for the people that I have in my life and for how long I had my mom, you know. And like I don't have like my mom in my life anymore, but I have like a stepmom and I have a wonderful grandma who's like my mom and loves me, and I have my sisters and I have my church family. Like I have so many people that love and care about me and support me, you know. And so I'm so thankful for them. Even though I don't have my mom and I like would love to have her in my life, like I have a wonderful support system, and I've just learned a lot from that experience. So I don't know. I just I just wanted to reflect on it. So I don't really know how to end this, but I don't know. I just wanted to take a minute, 11 minutes, 12 minutes, whatever, to reflect on the fact that it's been 5 years since my mom passed away, and it's I never would have. I'm gonna end on this. I never would have imagined 5 years ago that I would be where I'm at in my life, and I would be surrounded with so many loving and caring people in my life, and that when it came to my mom, like I would mainly, like 99% of the time, think happy thoughts, and you know, and not feel sad every single day. Because I remember when everything first happened, I remember thinking like I'm never gonna be happy again. Like how can I be happy? I don't have my mom. Because I never, like, I knew, like, when you would get older that, like, my mom would, like, pass away eventually, but I never thought that I would lose my mom at 18. I never thought that, you know? But I'm thankful that I had her up until I was 18. So it just it truly makes you appreciate life and appreciate people in your life a lot more. Um, and it's life. You lose people all the time, and you never know when it's going to be like your last day. And so you just have to like live your life like to the fullest and just love the people around you and pour into them, and you know, live like your life the best that you can and make like an impact in the world, you know. So that's all I really have. Happy Father's Day, by the way.